All right. Woo-wee. What a day, what a day. Let's see if I can get anything on here. We're going to see if I can get some people on this YouTube live. I've never done this before, so let's see what we can accomplish here. So far, no activity just yet. So I got some chopped up lamb shoulder in the air fryer right now. Little pieces. Nice little fatty cut of meat. Very tasty. And just I'm feeling extremely motivated today. Just to improve my life. And I woke up this morning, I put on YouTube motivation, about athletics, bodybuilding, stuff like that. And I just got fired up. And I took all that emotion and all that frustration out on the weights. And I got a badass workout today. Felt super strong, super motivated. And I think that is my safety net to deal with life. I know I've talked about vices in the past, how I think that, we look to vices as something that is bad, because we always equate vices to the lower self, doing things that we ought not to do. That's not necessarily the case. Life is difficult, and there are many challenges in life. And there ain't nothing wrong with taking out your frustration, your anger, your sadness, whatever it is, on something positive. If you could find a positive vice to empty yourself, because it all starts in the mind anyways, but sometimes you need to relinquish that pent up energy in order for you to get solid in the mind frame, so that you could better improve your life and learn to cope. We all are trying to cope. We all are, feeling indifferent and estranged from the world. Let's be honest. For those of us that have woken up to what's taking place in the world and the Hunger Games is before us. And you don't want to just sit on your hands and do nothing, my friends. You want to get your ass out of bed and do something productive. And I needed to give myself a pep talk today and do that myself. I wonder if this is working. I have not a clue. I don't even know how to stop the thing. So I don't see anybody's names pop up in the feed, but I need to give myself a pep talk today. And I got out and I'm like, you know what? I think this is what I got to do. We could sit around and intellectualize things all day long. Bodybuilding is bad for you. Yeah, it can be bad for you, but it also could be very good for you. And putting your body to heavy weight every day, yeah, it's a lot of lactic acid. It may not be the best on your joints over time, but you got to pick your battles in life, my friends. You really got to pick your battles, and that's the one that I just feel like helps me to not go to the vices that I know will absolutely destruct my life. That it could turn into like my past with sex addiction, drug and alcohol addiction. I used to have really, really toxic vices to hold on to kind of escape from reality. And I've learned over the years, you got to dedicate yourself to something positive to uplift your spirit. And that will help you to overcome the battles of the mind and the battles of the flesh, if you will. Before, and still to this day, my two passions are, well, now it's bodybuilding. I don't aspire to be a big yoke bodybuilder. It's not my interest. I want to try to take this bodybuilding game the most natural way possible, without any supplements at all. Just hard work in the gym, good quality protein, exercise, and good sleep, and just taking care of yourself. On my off days, I want to be out in the ocean swimming, getting plenty of sunshine. And And I'm just feeling motivated. I'm feeling like, you know what, let's kick this up to the next step. Let's not bullshit around. Let's really push forward and use the energy and the strength you have to get out in nature, do something, you know, productive. And so helping others get healthy and also going to the gym, those are the two things that I love to do. But you know, I this month hasn't been as busy, so in order, you know, so that's why I'm just like, you know, I'm gonna go to the gym. Then I'm gonna take all this energy out on the gym and just get myself busy doing something new. Sometimes we are afraid to do something new because we get so caught up in our everyday life, our little status quo bubble of you know, this is what you do every day. Well, I've always said, fuck that. I'm not going to do what I'm told, and I'm not going to do what everyone else is doing. I'm going to do whatever I want to do, because that's the freedom of life, is to not do what you're told because it's what everyone else is doing. It's do what makes you happy and manifest whatever you want to achieve so that you could build that type of life that you want to live. And I'm still trying to figure that out. You know, I mean, of course, I know that I love living in the tropics. I love working online. I love helping people. I love exercising. But there's so many things that I want to experience as well that I haven't yet discovered. And so sometimes, you know, we use these social media platforms to figure those things out. And so I'm just never going to give up, my friends. I'm just going to continually be me to the day I die. Because I don't live for nobody but me. I live for me. And when I do live for me, I usually am more productive and useful to help other people as well. So, yeah, what else can we talk about? Because it doesn't look like this live is doing much, so we'll just upload it to my YouTube channel, and you guys can tune in later. So what did I want to talk about? So my last video, you know, people kept bringing up the balanced diet thing. You know, you guys have been brainwashed by the government food pyramid. That's why you say balanced diet. That's where that came from. That term balanced diet came from the government food pyramid. You need to eat every food group, right? That's what a balanced diet is. And yet, it's not the most successful diet. And no animal eats a balanced diet. And no indigenous person living in nature eats a balanced diet. So people were saying, oh, you still very much so have an eating disorder. Well, we might have two different ideas or two different concepts of what that means. And so when I refer to eating disorder, I refer to veganism. I refer to fruitarianism. I refer to, you know, getting down on myself for eating cooked foods. You know, that is extreme. And I no longer have that issue. I don't feel like I need to eat raw meat. I eat raw and cooked meat. You know, I don't care. I'll eat it both. You know, as long as it's good quality, properly sourced animal foods. Because, you know, desiring to eat healthy and eating the best quality food you possibly can find isn't an eating disorder. An eating disorder is when you get down on yourself and you restrict your diet and you can never compromise outside of that little box, even when it's costing you your health. So that's what I meant by that. Yeah, of course my diet now is very restrictive, but my mental has changed. The way I view food is completely changed. And so that's what it is. It's the mental part. I like eating simple. I don't see the need to eat a balanced diet because indigenous people don't do that. They eat what they have access to. And that's kind of how I eat. Something smells like it's burning. I'll be right back, guys. Something smells like it's burning. They do burn a lot of stuff in Thailand, but I got to get my food anyways. All right, I'm back. I smelled something burning, so I was wondering where it was coming from. they burn a lot of wood and stuff in Thailand, so it's common. So I got myself some chopped lamb shoulder, slightly overcooked. Just threw it in the air fryer. This is my protein for after my workout. I just put it in an hour at the gym. I don't know. Maybe it's 500 grams of lamb shoulder from New Zealand, grass-fed, low salt. I love lamb. It's my favorite food. I feel my best on lamb. I think it's the cleanest animal to eat. And this is going to give my muscles bioavailable building blocks, amino acids, right? Now, that's another subject. We don't need to get into the balanced diet. Let's come up with something different here. What I've noticed when I was a vegan was that I could never get a good muscle pump. You know, when I worked out, I never could get a good solid pump. And I was thinking, there's no creatine in plant foods. And creatine is what activates ATP to the muscles, brings in a little bit more water fluid to help provide energy to the muscle so you can push more. And meat is loaded with creatine. Creatine's an important, you know, amino acid, you know. So, I love lamb. All right, we got a comment. Wow. Took an hour. Took an hour for the comment to come through. Let's see here. Love your honesty and strength of conviction. Thank you for acknowledging that. I appreciate that. I feel like a lot of the times now, everything I say just falls on deaf ears. And I'm like, fuck. I think I would, if I was real before, I don't know. Because now I'm realizing like, oh, okay, when you really embody the truth, you realize you were a part of a food cult. Wow. Hey, it's the past. Now's the future. And I have more confidence that I can help people heal their bodies way more than I ever have before. And it's built off of my own ideas. And I don't need a PhD or any of that bullshit to help people. I've been on the phone with doctors that don't know shit about health and nutrition. It's not a shock. Anyways, back up. Creatine. Bioavailable creatine in animal foods. And I just feel more of a pump, more strength, more energy on an animal-based diet versus a plant-based diet, no matter what the plant-based diet was. I was able to build muscle on a plant-based diet, but I destroyed my gut by doing it. I remember I was in Hawaii and I was eating like mostly raw, actually. I was like 80% raw, fruits and salads, but I would eat like two to three times a week. I would load up on like beans and rice just to play with bodybuilding at the time. This was late, not the first time I went to Hawaii, but the second time I went to Hawaii with Danny Duncan. I took a break from hanging out with people in Hawaii, and I stayed in my house. I just started doing push-ups and dips. I snapped a photo. It's on my IG. And I look pretty good, actually, if I go back and look at that. But I was still undernourished and had, deficiencies. And also my gut was just constant, insane amounts of gas and bloat and discomfort. And who wants to live like that? But I never had a pump. Even though I was able to build muscle, I never felt the strength. I couldn't push the weight that I could push now. I'm almost up to 215, guys. I was literally 125 pounds 3 months ago. I'm like 145 now. And I could bench press 225 almost, or 215. Like one time. I've done way more than that in the past when I was a kid. I think I've got up to like 315 before. Back when I was really doing bodybuilding and actually taking creatine and all that crap. Beta-alanine, and I played with some pro-hormone supplements as well. years ago when I was a little kid. Didn't know anything about health. But the transformation now is just it's I don't even how is it even possible? All I eat is lamb, and I drink coconuts. I eat lamb and eat coconuts, or drink coconuts. That's it. I'll probably add in fruit and white rice to make it more balanced for you guys. No, fuck you guys. I'm gonna do it for me. I'm just kidding. I love you. So just for bodybuilding, just curious. Add in some white rice with my lamb. Now I wouldn't recommend that for somebody trying to heal their gut or has health problems. But I'm pretty damn close to healing my gut already. So when it's healed, I'm gonna add in some fruit and some white rice and really put on the gains. And still help people heal at the same time as a full-time iridologist online. Did you guys forget? I feel like you guys think I don't do this no more. It's really interesting. People are sending me messages. Hey, do you still do iridology? Do you still do consultations and detox and all that? Absolutely. When did I stop? I'll never stop. And I need your guys' support too so I can keep doing it. Anyways. Hello there. Do you ever eat salt? Yeah. I eat a pink salt from Pakistan. Best I can get right now. Probably a gray salt's the best for you. I don't know. I know a lot of people like it. That's all I consume. No spices at all, just salt. And lamb is such a fatty cut. It's so juicy and flavorful. That's all you need anyway. Just a little bit of salt. I'm not super restrictive, guys, anymore. I don't see the need. I really don't. I'm satisfied. I love eating meat. And so, coming from somebody that was always thinking about food and always hungry, and now that's completely gone, I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now. And like I've always said from day one, and you guys don't pay attention, I've never ever said I'm going to stick to a certain diet for the rest of my life. If I want to change or add something to it, I will. All I know now is that I'll never be vegan ever again. That's it. So now we're experimenting. That's it. We're experimenting now. I'm trying to heal my gut because I caused damage to it. That's why I'm restrictive. And when it's completely healed, I won't be so restrictive. And if balance doesn't work, then I'll go back to doing what I'm doing now because it's working and I feel great. Go through what you have gone through to be exposed to so much bias, then to find your own path. I don't know why it's doing that. I have to like touch it with my finger. Find your own path out of that mental prison. Say a lot about your character. Thank you. Appreciate that. A lot of kind words from you. I've always been rebellious ever since I was a kid. I cannot do what I'm told. If I see flaws, and I really just feel like I put myself under a raw vegan spell. And hey, if raw veganism works for people, I'm happy for them. I just couldn't do what I could do now. Not even close. Adding an animal protein in my diet. So, you know, but for me, I felt like I was under a spell. And just because I healed prostatitis and just because I've helped so many people heal real serious complications with their health in the short term, I've helped so many people, I can't even count. But those people usually plateau and they stop being vegan too after a while. They heal themselves and then they run into problems. So, you know, I had to experiment, and when I experimented, I was shocked. I was like, oh, wow, I was missing a lot of key nutrients. Wow, my brain works way better now. My mood works way better now. My recovery works way better now. My strength and energy is way better now. My sex drive is way better now. Did I ever eat salt when I was on my raw diet? Yeah. When I was a fruitarian, no. I never consumed salt. Obviously, you don't need it, but Um, but when I would have salads, oh yeah, I'd have salt for sure. I never got to a point where, I mean, dude, I was trying to make a diet work that humans aren't attracted to. It's like you're attracted to the plants, raw living, get back, spiritual, all this stuff. You get so caught up in that fantasy world, but you're not enjoying your food. Because in order to have a salad, you got to add salt to the avocados, right? You got to blend up some nut stuff with coconut aminos or salt or whatever, just so it tastes nice. After a while, you get sick of sweet all the time. So it's like, okay, fruit's getting old, and the fruit today sucks for most of you in most parts of the world. It's a mental warfare. And I found you don't need to do that. Now, I still think that it might be beneficial. Well, I know it's beneficial in the short term, but do I find it necessary? So for some people, I would recommend, okay, let's do a couple weeks or a month on fruit, or something. And then we'll build you up with animal foods. Depending on the person and the situation. But yeah, of course I did. When I found that fruit only did not work, it made me just literally turn me into a frail, skinny old man. My experience, not saying anybody else's, my experience, I tried to do the salads, and that's when I destroyed my gut. I don't think it was the fruit at all. I think it was the vegetable matter, the raw vegetation, the nuts, the seeds, the leafy greens, the herbs, all that stuff. I'm not so sure that herbs in the form of a tincture are a problem. I'm just saying the fiber, the cellulose. And I think herbs are for emergencies now. They're like antibiotics. You don't want to take them long term. They can destroy your gut microbiome, I think. It's like, oh, cilantro, pull heavy metals out of the body. Okay, but it might also cause other problems. Same with coffee enemas. Oh, wow, I've got mucoid plaque with coffee enemas. Coffee enemas are the holy grail for detox. Oh, really? You're putting a roasted toxic seed in your body that's also heavy amounts of caffeine stimulants that create more adrenaline than your body should create all at once, all the time. You're absorbing that into your bloodstream, hard on the liver, hard on the kidneys, and the adrenals. So it's like, oh, you clean your colon, but then you cause metabolic dysfunction. So I don't know where I'm going with that. That's all from the salt question. Wow. I don't feel like salt's a problem now that I'm eating animal foods. I always thought that salt might have been an issue on a plant-based diet or like a raw vegan diet with salads in the evening. But now I think it was the greens themselves. It was the herbs, it was the tomatoes, and it was the nuts and the seeds that caused the issue. Not the salt. You wake up with your legs kind of riffling, swollen. I don't get that no more. And I still consume salt. My calves don't swell up. I don't have any circulation issues. But I'm not sitting here saying that I promote salt as a health food either. I'm not saying that. I just personally consume it with my food. And I don't think it's as problematic as all the spices are. And all the ginger that you guys juice and the turmeric lower your testosterone. Look at India. You know how many Indians I work with from India that grew up on that curry stuff and have hormonal issues, malabsorption, serious gut and joint inflammation? Tons. And I always tell them on the phone, no disrespect, but India has the lowest life expectancy out of all of Asia. And they eat the less. They don't even eat meat, right? It's like dairy only. And now they're going more towards vegan. The whole world is being influenced down that road to promote the emaciation emasculation plan. Not trying to piss off any vegans. That's just my personal thought. Would you say that strength and fitness is a sign of health? Whatever works best for this is a sign of health. If you go to the gym and you feel motivated and pumped up. Let's say you got your earphones in, you're listening to motivational speeches or whatever it is that are just pushing you to do better, to reach your goals. That's good for you. It creates these euphoric chemicals in your brain that push you to do better every day, to make better choices. I think that if it helps your mind, then it helps your body. As long as you're not putting any bullshit in your body, like chemicals and steroids and all that other crap. I could never train while vegan or on a fruit cleanse, never felt like doing it, but now being meat-based, it's life-changing. Ha! Right? I might even go to the waterfall today and just swim for hours. I've never had this kind of motivation in my life. I'm getting my youth back. You guys are going to see here on my YouTube channel, just watch me grow. Watch me grow. How I looked when I was 18, 19, 20. You guys don't know how I look. You know, that's why, you know, the trolls were saying, oh, he's on juice, he's taking testosterone, da-da-da-da. It's like, you guys don't know me. You know, if you were to see pictures of me in my 20s, I was way bigger than this. I was a mesomorph. I can get in the gym, and if I pump the protein shakes and I eat 3 to 6 meals a day, which I don't do anymore and don't find it necessary. The highest I've gotten was 200 pounds. For my frame, that's a lot of weight. I was a meathead bodybuilder. You guys see me, this little skinny Mingotarian character. That was a small part of my life. Small part of my life, guys. I was desperate. I couldn't find answers with the medical industry. I thought they were all Scrooges and didn't know what they were doing. I've always had this instinct, intuition that you go with nature. That's the best way to heal. So I chose the detoxification fruitarian thing. But look what it made me, a little skinny boy. I might have been a little bit more nicer, more feminine, really. And now I'm in touch with my masculine side. And I feel like a man. Every man wants to feel like a man, and every woman wants to feel like a woman. Let's be honest. Oh, John, you're just vibrating in the 3D. You need to come up to my frequency, my friend. Yeah, you and your stupid God complex? No, thank you. Not interested. All right. If you live by the sea, you can collect salt, take seawater. Well, I do live. I live on an island. Why doesn't it let me hold this? If you live by the sea, you can collect salt, take seawater, and put it on the stove to evaporate, and you will get real salt. Oh, interesting. Many of Himalayan salts are fake. They use table salt and then dye it. Yeah, I know. That's why I get mine. It's authentic from Pakistan. It's real stuff. But that is truth. You are so right. My mental health is now on point, calm, focused, great memory, and motivated, a long way from depressed, anxious, scattered, and stressed. It's a fact. Now, even though I've experienced all those benefits in the beginning, how do I get out of here? Anyways, I don't know. Even though I felt that way in the beginning, I have been challenged with a little bit of stress. I'm not going to lie. Just financially, just going, okay, well, I'm making half of what I normally make. Still grateful that I'm getting clients. People are still interested in working with me and doing iridology and detox and rebuilding, and interested in including animal foods in their diet because of veganism has destroyed their health over time. I'm getting, plenty of people, and the more that come, the more happy I get because I just love this so much. But obviously it has slowed down, so that has been a little bit stressful for me. But hey, they legalized marijuana. And so a toke here and there, whatever. You got to find your balance, right? Talk about balance, guys. Smoke a little marijuana. The Hadza do it. The Hadza, they smoke the ganja. And they have no record of any kind of issues with their health. They don't live very long because they get eaten by animals. But cardiovascular health, lung, respiratory stuff, nothing. And they smoke weed like crazy. So sometimes I will toke a little bit. I will smoke a little marijuana. I don't promote smoking. I think combustion and all that could be mucus forming and could be acidic on the body. probably not the best way, but again, you know, we see record of people doing it. I mean, okay, if it does cause a little harm to the body, not really anything serious. People do have cancer, seem to smoke it and use the oil, and they don't have an issue. So there's, you know, but ideally smoking is probably not the best way to go. But again, you know, it's like a toke here and there in the evening, just to kind of balance you down, relax the mind, help you get, you know, out of this surface dwelling world, and, you know, getting in touch with your creativity and your higher self. I mean, I don't see any negativity to marijuana. I really don't. I've done every drug known to man, and the only drug, mushrooms and marijuana, are the only two that do positive things for my life. Again, if I abuse those two, it would be a problem, but I don't. I don't have a desire to abuse any of those. But I used to abuse alcohol and drugs and all those other things that were super destructive. I think marijuana can really help, you know, creativity. And a toke here and there, you know, in small amounts. I don't know. It's helping me. It's helping me not care so much and just relax, because stress is the biggest killer. Stress is the biggest killer. If you can't get a control of your mind, that's a problem. And so we are all transitioning and doing the best we can. Now, I don't promote that, you know, escape with marijuana or escape with anything if it's not good for you personally, but if it creates good, positive things in your life and it's under control and managed, you know, I don't really see it as an issue. I don't think I really did it before. I used to do consultations with people on the phone, and they used to ask me all the time, hey, what do you think about marijuana? I go, I think it's a good thing in the beginning. Like, if you have a lot of pain and you have a lot of insomnia and you could sleep better and eat better and all those types of things, it could be useful temporarily for some people. So, yeah, you know, medicinally, you know, probably consuming the oil or some kind of edible form is probably better for you to metabolize it in the blood rather than smoking, combustion, and all that. But I'm just more open-minded to it, and just from experimenting with a little bit in the evening, you know, before I go to bed. Like, I don't, you know, I'm professional when I work, I don't do it, but when I go to bed, you know, little toke here and there, watch something entertaining or productive, you know, some educational, motivational stuff. I found that I wake up happier, relaxed, more calm, and not much of an issue. So I'm just being honest and upfront that, you know, dealing with the stress, the transition, and just my new life, and coming into I'm no longer vegan, I'm no longer fruitarian, raw vegan, you know, I'm no longer an influence in that community. And, you know, and you know, when you've been doing something for so long, you know, and sometimes you're like, well, I really like doing it. It's just, it wasn't working for me and my clients. So I had to stop. But, you know, it could take some time to just accept those things and try to find other things to occupy your time and that sort of thing. And so, you know, shockingly though, like, I thought that I was going to be dust, and I'm not. I used to get messages still every day, but not nearly as much as I used to. And that's probably a good thing for me too, you know, to start taking care of myself, because I think before I got lost in trying to help others with a certain protocol, and it wasn't working for me in the long term, and I was destroying my health trying to help others, you know, and so it's nice to take a minute and just figure some things out and experiment and all those types of things, and so yeah, you know. I think the most productive thing for me personally, though, for my mental health, my physical health, and my spiritual health, is busting my ass in the gym. I don't know. I just think that's where I'm at right now. You know? And I just, you know, I never really desired to do those manly things as a vegan, even though I always had it in here. You guys heard me. You guys knew. Like, dude, this dude is masculine. I've had people tell me all the time, even as a fruitarian, a little skinny boy, you're a pretty masculine dude for a skinny guy, you know? I always had it in here, but I never felt it, you know, in that phase of my life. Obviously, I did before that. Before I lost my health, like I told you guys, I was a meathead. And it was something that helped me overcome addiction. When I ever went down the path of alcohol or drug addiction, I would go to the gym, and I would just put a goal. I'm going to gain this much muscle. Guys, it's not really about the muscle. It's not really about like, oh, I mean, what is it worth to get all this muscle? What is it going to do for you? It's this that helps me. When I get in that gym and I push it and I find discipline, I meet a goal. Just like when I did the mango thing. That was not just because, I'm mono mango guy, you know. It was the discipline. It was the high that I got. It was the rush to look at what I could do. Can you do what I could do? It was trying to inspire. It was getting high off inspiring people and just doing something that nobody else would do or was afraid to do. I could do it, and so for me, when I set a goal in the gym, I'm going to build muscle, I'm going to get big, even though it's like I don't really care to get big, but I'm going to do it just because I want to meet the goal, just because I want to say I can do it. I want to show you guys and show the world, look, you can rebuild your whole body. You can do anything you want to do. You can experience this world any way you want to experience it. And that's what my life journey has been about anyways. It's just now it's in a different bubble. And I'm trying not to be in any bubble. But I'm lucid and I'm open-minded now. And there's much more to healing. There's much more to healing, guys. No offense to Robert Morse and Arnold Ehret, but there is a lot missing, guys. There is a lot missing. Arnold Ehret was in the 1800s, okay? We're in 2022. We're living in a chemical age. We're living in a world of genetic modification. Trust me. We are dealing with severe chronic nutritional deficiencies, guys. And microbiome gut issues like you wouldn't believe, and kidney issues, and liver issues, and you name it. It's a whole different ballgame now. So there's a much more to the story. Yes, I believe you can regenerate your body when you remove the most obstructive foods, when you go on an elimination diet of the foods that are the least obstructive. Fruit and grass-fed meat. Really? Those are your two only foods that are I don't think fruits are destructive. I don't think fructose is a problem. I think that if you have metabolic damage and dysfunction, adrenal issues, then you probably want to lower that and try to meet yourself where you could tolerate the sugar and metabolize it properly. And then over time, try to find your sweet spot. I try to help people do that all the time. From what I've learned is that it's not necessarily the combining of sugar and fat that's the problem. I don't have that problem now. I guzzle down coconut waters all the time, and I eat meat, and I don't have any kind of blood sugar issues like I used to. When I'd eat fruit all day and avocados in the evening, it was terrible blood sugar issues. Waking up feeling tired and lethargic and hungover and all of that. So, but I obviously consume less sugar now, and I just happen to find that I can hydrate and bring in electrolytes in my body from coconut water, and I could get a lot of my fuel from fatty meat. Lamb, and it takes care of the nutritional deficiencies. It takes care of the hormone production. It takes care of the digestion. It takes care of fueling the muscles and making me feel strong and energized. And I just think if we're men, we ought to be men. We ought to be men. And I just see like this glorification of being this little weasel spiritual boy that has no urge to protect their environment or instill these principles in their children because they bought into toxic masculinity, and it doesn't exist. Masculinity is God consciousness. It exists for a reason. We need masculinity. And now women have taken over masculinity, and the men are emasculated. Oh my gosh. And we got it so backwards, it's unbelievable. And so, now that I feel like a man, be in the gym, go out and hunt, go out and do manly things. That's good for you. That's healthy for you. Not, being all, unenergized, dizzy, vertigo and all that, blood sugar issues, and weak and lethargic and over, skinny, no muscles, no desire for sex, none of that. And you call that health because you're on a path of transcending into mystery worlds. Come on, guys. I've always thought it was strange. Just saying. I was fascinated by some of my teachers, what they had to say about detox and regeneration, but the spiritual stuff, come on, man. It's fairy tale world. It's not real. Real spirituality is nature. Go out in nature. Look at what the people do in nature. They have spiritual practices. And they're out hunting, and they're out working out, and they're out building muscle, and they're out doing manly things. The men of the tribes. And I'm just more drawn towards that. And I think the energy is going that direction because the real men will stand up. The real men will put a stop to all the propaganda and will say, I'm not doing what I'm told. I don't know what it is about Thailand, but they just all of a sudden stopped mandating the masks. You don't have to wear masks here. And I wonder if real men stood up and went to Congress. I don't know what they do in Thailand, but went to Congress and said, hey, we don't need this shit no more. We're not going to wear masks over our face. We're not going to tell other men and women to wear masks on their face. We're going to give them the freedom to do as they choose to do. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So you guys know me. I just come on here and rattle off whatever. And somebody gets inspired. I know that. I know that regardless of the support I get, whether it's less or not, I don't care. I come on here because I know I will inspire somebody. And that's what I live to do. I was on fruits for 10 months. I solved the problem, but it's created a problem again. Veganism is an ideology for sure, but food has nothing to do with it. It makes distinction between veganism and eating plants. Fasting is important, but also nutrition is both animal and plant foods are important. It just depends on what we try to accomplish with it. I think now that fasting is when you're sick, man. You know, and that's the thing. I was so attracted to fasting before is because I didn't feel good. I did not feel good. That's why I was attracted to fasting before. And yeah, there's some euphoria you get from fasting and you feel light and it's interesting to see what comes out of the bowels. I get it. I've been down that road. But I think that we fast when we don't feel right. Whenever, like, let's say I ate bad meat, all right? I ate bad meat, which I think I did the other day. And I felt a little bit off for a couple days. And I just ate less. And I just chugged down coconut waters. And I saw some stuff come out of me. And I'm like, oh, interesting. And I started to think, I think the biggest issue is the seed oils and the starches. The starch and the seed oils. This is what causes mucoid plaque. Because I saw mucoid plaque come out of me in small little pieces. I'm going, what? I'm eating meat. How the hell is that possible? Because I removed starch from my diet. And I removed all plant matter in rancid seeds and nuts as a raw vegan. And all the amounts of fiber that just overload your pancreas and your digestive system. And all of a sudden, you know, chugging the coconut water and eating meat too, mucoid plaque came out of me. So it's like, oh, if you drink enough juice, you still can eat some meat and still clean the colon. Some people can. I can. If your adrenals are shot, probably not a good idea. Probably just do juice and bone broth. But, you know, if you move your bowels okay, like I do, I was blown away by it. There's mucoid plaque, and mucoid plaque is not caused by meat. Not grass-fed, grass-finished meat. Mucoid plaque is caused by flour products. I used to eat Indian breads. I would cheat all the time with Indian food. And I would get the naan and the chapati and the paratha, whatever the hell, all these rancid seed oils and starches. I was smashing that stuff, especially during the COVID thing because I was like depressed about it. And hearing people on the phone that were depressed every day just wears off on you. And you're just like, give me some Indian bread. You know, and so I did that for a while, and so now that I've discontinued after, it took longer, of course. If you do juice, it's probably gonna be much shorter than if you had meat in your diet. But 3 months, and I saw some mucoid plaque and biofilms come out of me and mucus threads, and I felt great afterwards because I was chugging the coconut water, but I was still eating meat. So I think that when you're feeling not well and your body's trying to fast itself, then you should fast. I'm so totally for fasting when there's something serious going on for emergencies. But if you've got general health, probably not a good idea to do that. Probably don't want to really mess up your metabolism. And also, you know, a lot of you guys fast on juices that could destroy your microbiome. Again, I think quite possibly a lot of these leafy greens and beets and all this other crap, the defense chemicals might wipe out the microbiome. You know, all this talk about plants are good for your microbiome. Really? Then why do people have digestive issues and get worse and worse over time? So, yeah. All right, we're getting this. This is getting long, and there's not so many questions. It's 45 minutes. I might just shut this down and upload it to my channel. We covered some ground. We got this. You know, I just wanted to come on here and motivate and inspire, and I just feel disciplined and I feel motivated, and I want to. I just want to just go to the gym and just go in my own world. And just hit the weights, not because I want to get so big and strong. Yeah, that's cool too. But really, it's how I feel, and it's the mindset that I have. And if running, swimming, or doing anything in nature gives you that too, I highly promote it. I highly recommend it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. You guys got to learn some new things about me. I come on here and I tell you, you know, I've experimented with some marijuana. Hey, it became legal in Thailand, and so you know me, I'm the curiosity guy, and I wanted to return to it and see how I felt from it, and I was like, whoa, this is kind of cool. I could see how people could use it to really numb themselves and escape. I get that. If you're immature and you don't have a right mind frame, it could be destructive. But if you have the right mind frame and you're mature, I think it's actually really beneficial, and a lot of people, it expands their creativity. And I've never really been against psychoactive plants. And marijuana is a psychoactive plant, mushrooms, ayahuasca. I'm not against those things. So, you know, I had a little toki toke, and it really helped me. It helped relax me and calm me down, and just, you know, not care so much and just focus on myself. And yeah, but I don't want to come off like this and say this like I'm taking a break, because I'm not taking a break. I can't take a break. I need to help people. I need to do iridology readings. I love doing it anyways, but I need to do it in order to pay the bills and get an income and to live as a digital nomad in Thailand. So your guys' support is greatly appreciated. And yeah, I got an iridology sale going on right now. Send me an email or message me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll give you the details to that. And who knows, if you get your family members, I might even do you a better deal, you know, like a 2-for-1 or something like that. Hey, I'll do anything, guys, in order to live in this beautiful island. And just know that I provide a great service. I am a skilled, gifted iridologist. I'm not saying that. People say that all the time. I'm natural iridologist, very simple, very informative, and it really does help me when I get on the phone with people that have health complications to kind of ask questions, tie things in, and better understand what's going on. The iris reading really does help me. It may not even help you, but it helps me a lot. It helps the practitioner a lot. It might help motivate you, it might help you understand some things, but it really helps me to understand your health and your dysfunction, so that I could better equip and kind of come up with protocols and then tweak things as I go, returning back to the analysis and in my notes. So yeah, if you guys are interested in iridology, I'm the carnivore iridologist. So with that said, my friends, get back to nature, get back to the ancestral diet, tap into your intuitive consciousness, let your instincts guide you, live in the present moment, and I promise you, my friends, you'll thrive. Aloha, namaste, peace.